What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to take a look to see how the markets were today, what kind of news events we had coming out that possibly affected the markets, and again how we responded to that. All right, so we have major headline coming out of investing.com. S&P 500 falls on soft retail sales data, fears of further Iran-Israel escalation. So if we take a look at the charts here, just from the headline without even going into the actual details of the news event that's going on, just looking into the charts, we could see that there is a lot of certainty when it comes to the side of gold, as well as we could see that fear that's being talked about when it comes to things like the indices, NASDAQ. When we go to things like US 30, we could see these sell-offs that happened today. Now, the sell-offs are coming from, as the article mentioned, there are fears that the Iran and Israel tensions are not over. They're far from over, and further attacks are going to happen, possibly further involvement with the US. And as a result, people will lose confidence in their investments. This is usually going to be a sign that equities will go down. However, you may ask yourself, why isn't gold going up, being that it is a commodity, a safe haven, etc.? Now, if we take a look at the news event that is coming up tomorrow, the news event that's coming up tomorrow is FOMC. Being that FOMC is coming out, what happens is a lot of traders who would usually trade gold, put positions in gold, they're usually going to be nervous about putting large amounts of money behind gold, knowing that there's news of FOMC coming out as well. Okay, so that being said, I expect gold to finally break out of this consolidation after the news of FOMC. Perhaps a breakout a little before, but usually after the news of FOMC, we have a clearer direction on what the market data tells us. And then afterwards, then we can see news events and fundamentals like the war start to take precedence after the news of FOMC has passed. So continue to stay tuned. This is actually brewing up for a very big move. If we take a look at gold here, it's been trading within this area over here. Within this area, it's been consolidating, and the bigger the consolidation, the bigger the breakout, the bigger the move. All right, so it's bound to have a very big move. There is anticipation that it is eventually going to go upside, but remains to be seen. FOMC could delay that a bit depending on what comes out, but ultimately the way you should be trading this is watching, right? Unless you are a scalper and you're going for these shorter moves, this is not an environment that you want to be trading in. Look at these wicks to the downside. Look at these wicks to the upside. There's no clear direction on where price wants to go. No clear pattern. Nothing looks clean on this pair whatsoever. So the move of the day was to wait and watch. There's so much uncertainty in the markets right now that it's just not a safe time to trade, at least if you're trading gold. Now, when it comes to the indices, this drop came pretty late in the day. When it comes to the indices, right, still pretty solid. If I am executing my strategy BC30, I see an area of support over here. All right, perhaps after the close you could have gotten in, but naturally I probably would not have gotten in just because it's a little later in the New York session. I don't like trading past a certain time in New York session. Ultimately, it was a non-trading day, and we are sitting on our hands and waiting to see what price is going to do after the news event tomorrow. So much going on, right? During these times, as much as there's so much uncertainty fundamentally, where people don't know what's going to happen with the war, people don't know what's going to happen with FOMC, people don't know what's going to happen anywhere, right? There's just as much uncertainty on the charts and with retail traders who are trading, who do not necessarily know that they should not be rushing into any trades or rushing to try to get into setups that are just not clean. Very important that we wait for those clean setups. Again, this is what has kept me so profitable, because I'm willing to wait for that right moment to strike, and so should you. So it's a non-trading day, but what you should be doing on a day like this is remaining informed, making sure you're doing reading, making sure you're understanding and catching up on the charts. Still watch, still see what's going on, be aware of what's going on, and just know when it's finally the right time to strike, you'll be ready and you'll take advantage of that. So today is all about waiting, watching, reading. We're going to continue to stay informed with what's going on in the world. We're going to see what happens tomorrow when FOMC results come out, and we'll be ready to strike whenever that time comes. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, guys, peace.